Hello, everybody. Welcome to the United Front. This is your match preview for Manchester United against Everton, our last summer series game. Pretty much we probably won the competition, but obviously there's one game left to go, and obviously, I think we're the only unbeaten sides. But anyway, last game of summer series, and obviously we have one more, and obviously the league starts. So yeah, it's crazy how a week goes. I think probably in this game, pretty sure. Unless you have curfew, I'm pretty sure waking up, staying up 10 o'clock to watch this game, and pretty much finish at 12. So I don't think it'll be a problem. But yeah, let's go. And obviously, Sesko news. I just click record and already David Orsi just dropped a bomber. So we'll talk about that as well. It's just like right now it's just on my screen. So, but we'll talk about the match against Everton, and obviously we'll go straight to any news. Besides Sesko, if there's any other news besides Sesko. So yeah. Probably the most exciting thing as well is then MBEUMO's going to be starting in this game, which I did put I do put the same lineup. This could probably be the lineup we face against Arsenal. Who knows? But currently the squad that we have and the team that we have, I feel like that's our strongest team to even go against Arsenal as well. Probably you guys probably might take up, Euro and put Mazraoui, or maybe take up Maguire and then put Mazraoui or something. Maybe buying there. Look, you guys will probably still say Onana's still in there. You guys want Mane in the team, but obviously, where would you play him? So yeah, for some reason, this is almost realistic to be our starting lineup against Arsenal anyway. So, but yeah, I basically part the same team. I've been doing it for the past two games anyway. So, but yeah, probably one change and MBEUMO coming in. Menu out, but I don't really care about what lineup we put up anyway. It's about what we put up, in the league and whatever competitions we're playing. So, because obviously, Amrin will change it at halftime, or maybe he might look. This is obviously, like I said, the team that we most likely face against Arsenal. He probably use that team for 60 minutes and then bring up youngsters, and obviously, probably when we face against Fiorentina, that'll probably be the same team. So who knows? So yeah. Talking about Everton. I mean, they haven't won a game in this summer series, and obviously, look, everyone expected David Moyes to absolutely do a good job, especially how he came in mid-season. And obviously, took Everton to a place where no one even expected, and that's away from relegation zone. But it hasn't been a great preseason for them, to be honest. Bloody hell. They haven't even won any of their preseason games. Accrington Stanley, that was a draw, lost to Blackburn Rovers, 3-0 against Bournemouth, and then 2-1 against West Ham. So it hasn't really been a great preseason, but it's not what you want, especially when it's under David Moyes because of how they played last season. So yeah, I'm just looking at how they lined up. They play 3-4, three at the back. So basically, same formation Amrin plays. Just trying to see. No, it's just different. So look, maybe we all know David Moyes has to play 4 at the back. Probably he's tweaking a bit things. So who knows who he might play he might play the same formation as us as Amrin. So who knows? But in terms of players that we need to look out for, like Illiman and Dye, Milenko, I don't think there's Bramthway, Carlos Alcaraz, that's a really good player in him as well. Um, James Garner, obviously, former United player. So they do have decent players, obviously players that you know in anyway in the league, but you know what I mean. Beto, I mean, how could I forget? So you know, and Pickford, but you know, seeing how they are right now, it just isn't good. When I did go over 3-0 score, I felt like it would be comfortable. I think now would be probably the only time we'll probably get a clean sheet. I mean, I felt like we should have got a clean sheet against Bournemouth. Obviously, unlucky from Delict doing that own goal. And I did go with goal scorers and Bromo, Cunha, and Bruno. I mean, why not? A man of the match in Bromo. I mean, again, why not? I did put Cunha, man of the match against Leeds. But, you know, obviously it was a shit game then. You know, hopefully it won't be a worse game. I don't know. Obviously, we played Leeds. It was bad. 0-0. We played against West Ham 2-1. It was like it was better from Leeds, obviously, and then obviously Bournemouth we showed our superior side, you know. But that doesn't mean, you know, we play so well that it gets overlooked and then we get so hyped up pre-season whatever, and then we don't show in the league. I mean, look, if we lose to Arsenal, you know, I mean, not lose. I don't mind losing as long as you actually perform well. But if you don't perform as well, then you can't just say, oh, but we played so well in preseason. And it just shows that preseason doesn't matter. It's like a hiding in disguise, you know, hiding the cracks, you know. And obviously, look, Amrin needed a preseason so he can get to work with the team and see how his system flows. But hasn't been able to get the players that he wanted on time, apart from Cunha. And hopefully we get to see that with why he brought MBEUMO in and how he fits into that system. So it'll be excited, but you know, I think again I say comfortable 3-0. I hope people don't hype up this game. I mean, not hype up our preseason, because look, you want to win games. You want to have good performances so you have momentum to going into the new season. Obviously, a big one like against Arsenal, so it's key. But you know, I mean, if you're gonna do this in pre-season, you have to replicate on the in the real game. So you know, I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a comfortable win. Who else? And you know what? It's amazing because we have seen some young players, but Amrin brought in because of postseason. And we thought, you know what, we might get a feature from him. But I'm a bit disappointed, you know, of Amrin not picking Sesko Kone, because, I mean, we saw him in postseason. People were absolutely, you know, hyping him up, you know, saying he's good and whatever. But, what was I going to say? But he hasn't been playing, which is obviously disappointing, because you'd want someone like him playing, you know. And he is, look, I'm not going to say he's a fan favourite, but people are intrigued to see how he potentially fits in this team. So hopefully he gets a cameo or whatever, you know, 15 minutes or whatever. But hopefully we get to see more. Same with other players like Collier, Ethan Williams, obviously Heaven, Cheeto, Fredrickson, you know, and many other more. So, you know, hopefully we get to see more. But, you know, hopefully, most likely, I want to see Sekou Kone at least feature in this game, at least surely. If not, maybe, you know, Fiorentina. But I feel like Fiorentina should be like more of a basically I mean, I wouldn't call it a pre-season, but I'd probably say a test before we face Arsenal, you know, and that's obviously in a week's time after we play them. So, you know, but that's my match preview. I was about to say reaction. But yeah, let's go with Sesko. So obviously, as you guys know, I mean, look, this is why I prefer to do one show, because anything can happen, you know. Um, as you guys know, Newcastle did bid for Sesko, and if it was live, if it was like around 2 o'clock and I was doing a show, then I'd probably lose my head. But you know, I mean, I was gonna lose my head anyway because Newcastle know how Man United negotiation, and that's absolutely been slow. And they put a bid in before us, and we're like waiting for Sesko for his agreement. Like they're depending on Sesko to see who he chooses. So fair enough, but like, what if it was Man United and Newcastle put a bid in, and then obviously he chooses Newcastle, so and we take so long. And I want to say something as well. By the time we put a first bid in, he'd probably be a Newcastle player by now. So, but things change, and obviously David Ornstein dropped, saying LEIZIPIG rejected Newcastle's bid, so it was 75 million euros plus 5 million add-ons. So again, for those who are thinking, is it 80 millions? No, it's not. It's technically 75 million. Probably the add-ons, it might be unrealistic. We don't know what they are, but maybe that's why they saw the add-ons and they probably think, you know what, it's unrealistic. So, and they want 75 million. So, I mean, they want the same guaranteed fee plus add-ons, but with a sell-on clause as well. So, I'm pretty sure. Look, I mean, do they want 80? I mean, look, I mean, what? How much? How far are Newcastle are? I mean, they're not far off. It's like 5 million. It's like basically with MBEUMO again. Like we're 10 million off, and we take so long to do the deal. But this is Newcastle, and look, I said it again. They got advantage, which is finance, because money's not a problem for them. And if they do sign Sesko, then Isak goes to Liverpool. So, I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen, obviously, as a United fan, but, somehow United need to get this deal done, and obviously, as I said before, it has to do with the player who he chooses. And if he chooses Man United, then obviously United win that race, unless miraculously Newcastle do something that gives him the persuasion to come to Newcastle. It was the same with Gyökeres. He wanted Arsenal and we couldn't do anything about it. And then people started saying, oh, we could hijack the deal because the deal's taking so long. And then a few hours later, it was a here we go. So, I mean, what a waste of time that was. But hopefully it's not deja vu with Sesko. So, yeah, as you guys know, they've fallen short, but not that much. So, but I'm just checking something. So yeah, this is from Ben Jacobs talking about Bruno. So Al Nassr made a informal approach for Bruno Fernandes, but he wants to stay at Manchester United for at least one more season. What do I think about that? Look, this makes me feel like he was almost about to go, but obviously Amrin wanted him to stay. Now, if Bruno plays bad, I don't think we're going to get the same valuation, like 100 million, but pretty sure we're going to sell him this time. But, look, I didn't want Bruno to go. I never wanted him to go. But seeing where we are right now, it's August, and looking back on it now, there is regret, because knowing Amrin signing and MBEUMO, you're thinking to yourself, where's he going to play Bruno? And then wait a minute, he's going to play him in the 8. And again, I always said this so many times, playing Bruno in that pivot role is as comparable to Pogba in defensive duty. It's suicide work. So, I mean, he's not a system player for Amrin. He's a great player, world class and everything. Great captain, as Amrin does say. But he's not a system player. He does not fit this system. As long as he plays in the 10, he does not fit nowhere near this system, So, and that's the problem. We got MBEUMO. You're not going to put MBEUMO on the bench so you can put Bruno, And then obviously he's going to play like this team I put out right now, this is a type of team where you just throw your best players on. Like, legit. I mean, it's absolutely facts. You know, it's not balanced. Bruno's not an 8. I'd rather put Menu there because he contemplates with Ugarte. There's balance in there, and obviously he has to play in the 10. You know, and he's a free roamer, which it does not fit. It absolutely does not fit. So, you know, but if look, he wants to stay one more season, then fair enough. But, you know, um, obviously, I actually wanted him, but as you guys know, Al Nassr is obviously, I don't know what Ronaldo's role is, but apparently he's like almost like, I don't know what he is, director of football scouting. Whether I mean, I believe he decides who he wants to bring in. To be honest, I mean, I don't know what kind of role that is, but you know, Al Hilal was the team that actually wanted put up 100 million bids. So, you know, but Bruno wants to stay one more year, and we'll see how it goes. But you know, but apart from Bruno, I mean the Sesko. I mean, I'm just looking at David Ornstein once again. Proposal 75 million euros plus 5 million others, blah blah. After LEIZIPIG asked interested clubs for 75 million euros plus add-ons plus sell-ons. So, I mean, so they probably got the fee. They got the fee right. Probably they want more add-ons and the sell-on clause, which is what they didn't put Newcastle. So, you know, but United pursue for Sesko also continues, but no bid yet. And obviously Sesko hasn't put what do you call it? He hasn't decided who he wants to play for, and again, that's where the advantage relies on. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, no news. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Match preview. I need to stop saying match reaction. The game hasn't even kicked off. Yeah, I went with 3-0 Everton. Sesko, I mean, we'll know in a few days of what do you call it? Of how that deal will go. I mean, will we get an update of who he chose or whatever? Who knows? Most likely next week anyway, but you know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.